Hi, Happy New Year, Happy New UFX, Ukulele Effects Board. The last video I made, it was just before I was taking my little pedal board apart. I did sort of do a quick unboxing to show you what was going to be happening. So I spent many hours taking them off the little pedal board, put them on here, rewiring it all up. I didn't make a video apart from the fact it would have been quite boring because it took hours to do, only a little bit of swearing, but it was mainly fiddling with getting all the wires and everything correct. I have got a new power supply on this one, the Nordell Audio, not the most expensive, it's what I use on my other pedal board, works fine, so I can power 10 pedals with that. So I'll just really quickly run through the new ones on here, quickly explain how I've set it up, and we'll have a little listen. So the pedal board itself is a pedalbay by Palmer, pedalbay 40. It's a sort of metal slat design on it. It comes with the Velcro already attached. It also comes with quite a nice bag to go with it as well. So it didn't actually take that long to put it all together. The wiring, the power block sits underneath the pedal board with the powers going the power going through everything. I was really hoping to get these wires in the middle through the slats I have on my other pedal board. I could do it, it didn't look very good because the pedals were sort of out of sync and things. So for now, the actual wires are all above. It also means I can swap things in and out much easier. It's quite small, it's not too heavy to pick up, and once it's unplugged and things, easy enough to move around. So what's on the pedal board itself? Okay, this is the start, all right? So the cable goes from the ukulele into this one, which is a tuning pedal. Now, apart from being able to tune, it's also quite good because when the tuning pedal is on, it mutes everything else. Okay, right, goes into the auto wah. I had that a little while ago, which goes into a new pedal, an overdrive, which is by Twin Note. Okay, tube overdrive, we'll hear that in a minute, goes into Acacia crunch distortion. All right, now overdrive is a type of distortion as well, but they are quite different. Another new pedal is my EQ by Donna. Now I've got this one because I want to sort of try and get the tone of an Electro acoustic as clean and as nice and as soft as possible. That then goes all the way up here into this one. So there's one longer patch cable that goes from the equalizer underneath into the Acacia vintage phaser, which then goes into the Acacia analog chorus, into the Donna Echo Square delay pedal, which goes into the reverb, which finishes off with my looper. Now, I've had this looper quite a while, it's just it normally was living on my other pedal board, so I thought it'd be fun to add it to here, and then this wire on the end comes out and goes back into the amplifier. It's not as neat and as tidy as I'd like it, it's not perfect, but having these patch cables on the top does mean I can swap pedals in and out much easier, and that is the whole point of the UFX. All right, all these pedals on here at the minute, except for the Ditto Looper, these are all really cheap pedals. All right, most of them are under £20. They are all certainly under 30. Right, I'm just going to fly through a few of the pedals today, otherwise we could be here for hours. An Electro acoustic to start with. At the moment, just for you to be aware, I've got a microphone in front of my amp, all right? So you're going to be hearing the signal coming from the amp, All right, I'm not going to have the acoustic one on when I'm playing. Okay, so clean signal on an Electro acoustic. Okay, now I'm not going to fiddle too much with actual settings, but a little bit of equalizer. Okay, and you can do all sorts of weird and wonderful things with that. A little bit of reverb and a little bit of delay. Let's just try a little bit of overdrive. I've still got the EQ, reverb and a little bit of delay on. Okay, let's take the overdrive off and a little bit of crunch distortion. This is where I hope I don't get silly feedback. See, another distortion pedal, but it can sound very different. Let's try a little bit of phaser. I'm gonna try stacking distortion, crunch distortion on top of this. I have tried it. There may be a little bit of feedback. As I mentioned many times before, you get a very different sound out of an Electro acoustic compared to a steel string. So really, really quick, just because we got the equalizer, I'm just going to try a little bit of wah, take the phaser off and do a little bit of chorus. Oof! I've got my steel string Flight Pathfinder ukulele. Now obviously this is going to sound very different. Before we actually try the pedals, I'm just going to show you how the tuner pedal mutes everything else. So at the moment, okay, that's just, in fact there we are, clean signal. If I press the tuner pedal, okay, suddenly now the display, I don't know if you can see that very well, alright, but the display on there, okay, it is working, but the main thing is, alright, there is no sound coming through the amp at all. What you're hearing is just the very, very small acoustic sound coming off it. As soon as I take my pedal off, you can hear it again. Same effects on at the minute, so equalizer, reverb, delay and auto wah. Right, let's try the stacking of the overdrive and the crunch distortion. Hopefully there should be a little less feedback. See what I mean? It does sound very different. What was I playing? I've still got an awful lot more playing to do with this. One little question somebody asked me was, can you put a bass ukulele through pedals? Now, I did explain the plan. The plan is, this is how I could sort of justify doing this, was my old pedal board is actually going to become a UFX, bass ukulele effects. But going back to the question, can you put a bass ukulele through pedals? Yes. Let's have a go. Okay, I've got Pinky through the pedal board. As you could just see, all right, tuner pedals work with bass ukuleles as well. We're plugged in. Okay, clean signal at the minute, no effects going on. All right, now, yes, you can use a bass ukulele, and obviously this is rubber string, so this is going to be the same as most Electro acoustics as well. You can use a bass ukulele going through pedals. Some pedals are better than others. For example, the EQ, this one would have been set up for much higher pitched instruments, all right? So the whole point of me doing a UFX, a bass ukulele, is there will be some specialist bass pedals on there. So for example, I would be looking to get a bass EQ or a bass compressor and things, all right? But lots of the other pedals work perfectly well. The main thing you've got to remember, and this is really important, is that you're putting it through a bass amp, not a normal guitar or normal ukulele amp, all right? It just so happens I tend to record everything I do through a bass amp, okay? But you would not want to be putting what I'm about to do shortly with distortion and things through a little guitar amp with a bass uke. Okay, so clean signal, little bit of reverb, okay, so you can hear that little bit of sound carrying afterwards. Delay. Alright, you can go a bit mad with a delay and have lots of them on. Now, I've never used pedals that much as a bass player. I've never needed to. I'm not really a rock bass player. I'm more sort of jazz and swing and pop. Now, I do like to play a little bit of funk, and I've never owned a wah or an auto wah pedal before, so that's going to be interesting to try. So that's reverb and delay. Let's try chorus. Right, I'm going to turn the delay off for a minute. I'm not noticing a massive difference with the chorus. I'm not a huge chorus fan. Okay, phaser. Ooh, I quite like that. Now, wah. Ooh. Ooh, I am enjoying that. And of course, as I was saying, it's no different between the nylon and the steel string on a ukulele. I'm guessing that the round wounds and the rubber strings sound very different as well. Now, distortion does tend to work quite well on the bass, so maybe just some overdrive to start with. All right, let's go wild and stack the overdrive on top of the crunch distortion. Right. I really haven't played much with these pedals and a bass. I can grab my other bass in a second. But again, I do think it's going to be great fun. I never intended to build this for a bass. That was never the intention of it at all. And if I'm honest, I can't see me taking something like this out on a gig if I'm playing bass. But as I said, the whole point of the bass UFX will be more bass orientated, to do with getting a better sound rather than effects. I couldn't have a mess about without trying a Nik West California U bass on it. Now obviously this has got metal roundwound strings, so again it will sound very different to the rubber strings on my cheaper U bass. So a nice clean signal. Little bit of reverb. Let's try a little bit, in fact no, let's just go wild with a delay and see what weirdness we can get. Alright, it's great fun. When I'd ever know I'm going to use delay like that on a bass, I'm not sure. Right, let's go back to the overdrive and crunch distortion we tried a minute ago. I'm going to put a little bit of feedback on the delay. Ooh, hear the difference? I'm not sure many ukulele groups play Back in Black, AC/DC much, but you know, who knows? And we've gone back to a little bit of auto wah reverb. I've turned the delay off for now. Let's just see what happens here. you are, that just gives you a little bit of an idea of what a bass ukulele sounds through these pedals too. So just a very quick look at my new UFX, the pedalbay 40 by Palmer with 10 mini pedals, all nice and cheap. And we'll see what happens in the future in terms of what stays, what goes. I do hope you've enjoyed. As always, please feel free to leave a comment or a question below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you for watching.